I trusted my wife. Until my car failed, and the technician told me to review the dash cam. What if a routine car repair unveiled a betrayal that could shatter your world? Picture Mark Davis, hands trembling, staring at a dashcam video that captures his wife, Emily, laughing mockingly about his devotion while plotting a rendezvous with another man. Is this the woman he vowed to love forever, or a stranger hiding behind a familiar face? As her cruel words echo, he has no idea. A chilling question grips him. How deep does her deception run? The air crackles with suspense, each frame of the footage peeling back layers of a marriage built on lies. Will Mark confront her in a blaze of rage, or is he crafting a plan to turn her smug confidence into her downfall? What secrets are buried in that motel parking lot, waiting to be exposed? This isn't just a broken car. It's the spark igniting a high-stakes unraveling of trust, where every move Mark makes could either break him or set him free. Buckle up, because the truth he's about to uncover will burn through their shared life, leaving only the ashes of a love he thought he knew and a man ready to reclaim his future. I pressed play, my fingers were shaking, the footage loaded, and then her voice. I swear, babe, he has no idea. I froze. Emily, my wife, sitting in my car, laughing into her phone. You should have seen him last night, she giggled, begging me to spend time together, as if I'd waste my time on that loser. My stomach twisted, my heartbeat pounded in my ears, then a man's voice crackled through the speakers. Told you, Em, he's too soft. You need a real man, not some pathetic husband who kisses your feet. I gripped the table, my knuckles turned white. Emily's laughter sent a chill down my spine. Ugh, tell me about it. Anyway, you coming to the motel or what? Motel? I felt something snap inside me. The next scene hit like a sledgehammer. My car pulling into a motel parking lot. Emily's hands all over a man whose face I couldn't see. The recording ended, but I knew what happened next. I sat there, staring at the screen. Every single thing I believed in crumbling to dust, and then, without a word, I stood up, grabbed my keys, and walked out the door. Emily had no idea what was coming. I drove without thinking, gripping the steering wheel so hard my knuckles burned. My chest felt like it was about to explode, but my mind was clear. Too clear. Everything about my marriage, every kiss, every "I love you," every moment I thought was real, was a joke. And the worst part, she wasn't even careful about it. She thought I was so pathetic that I wouldn't even check. The motel wasn't far. I knew the name, knew the location. Hell, I'd driven past it 100 times without a second thought. But now it felt like the place where my entire life had been burned to the ground. I pulled up a block away and parked, my fingers tapping against the dashboard. I wasn't stupid. I wasn't about to go in there like some raging idiot and get myself arrested. I needed to think. I needed to play this smart. So I waited. It didn't take long. Less than an hour later, I saw her. Emily walked out of the motel like nothing had happened. Hair perfect, clothes neat, like she hadn't just trashed our vows. And then he followed. Ryan. He was taller than me, built like a guy who spent too much time in the gym just to show off, his face smug, relaxed. He kissed Emily on the cheek before walking to his car. She laughed, touching his arm like a high school girl with a crush. I gritted my teeth so hard my jaw ached. She turned away, pulling out her phone as she headed to my car. I took a breath, forced my hands to stay still. She had no idea I was watching, no idea that I knew. I let her drive off first, followed. At a distance, my heart slammed against my ribs with every turn she took. I didn't know what I was going to do when I got home, but one thing was clear. This wasn't over. When I pulled into the driveway, her car was already parked. My car, the same one she used to sneak around, like I was some blind idiot. I sat there for a second, gripping the steering wheel, watching the house like it was unfamiliar. Like it wasn't mine anymore, because really, was anything? I stepped out, locked the door behind me, and walked inside. The second I did, I could hear her in the kitchen, humming to herself, just like any other day, like she hadn't just been with another man an hour ago. I clenched my fists, forcing my voice to stay calm. "Hey." She turned, smiling. "Hey, baby, you're home early, baby." That word almost made me laugh. She walked up to me, leaned in like she was about to kiss me, but I didn't move. I just stared at her. She frowned, tilting her head. "What?" I exhaled through my nose. My entire body was humming with something violent, something ugly, but I kept my voice level. "How was your day?" She blinked. "Good." I nodded, looking at her carefully. "What did you do?" She hesitated, but only for a second. "Lunch with the girls. Shopping. You know, usual boring stuff." Boring. That's what she called it. The way she lied so easily, so effortlessly, it almost made my skin crawl. I stepped back, pulling out my phone. My hands were steady now. Too steady. "Funny," I said, tapping the screen, bringing up the video, because my car has a camera and it recorded everything. Her face drained of color. "What? What do you mean?" I hit play. Her voice filled the room. Loud, clear, undeniable. "I swear, babe. He has no idea." She flinched. "You should have seen him last night, begging me to spend time together, as if I'd waste my time on that loser." Her breathing turned shaky. I can explain. I turned the volume up anyway. You coming to the motel, or what?" Silence. She swallowed, stepping forward, her voice suddenly softer. "Sweeter, babe. It's not what you think." I laughed, a sharp, bitter sound. "It's not." I pointed at the screen. "So this is what? A prank, a misunderstanding." She reached for me, but I stepped back. "I was going to tell you." "Don't," I cut her off. "Don't insult me." Her expression shifted. The panic was still there, but now there was something else, something harder. "Fine," she snapped. "Yeah," I lied. "But let's be real here. We've been dead for years. You barely pay attention to me anymore." I stared at her. She said it like I was the problem, like she hadn't just shattered everything. She crossed her arms, lifting her chin. "And what? You think you're some perfect husband? Please. You're boring, Mark. You don't excite me anymore. Ryan does. And guess what? He's better than you in every way." Something inside me went cold. I nodded slowly. "Got it." She smirked, like she'd won something, like she thought I was just going to break down and beg, but she had no idea who she was dealing with. I looked at her, really looked at her. The woman I thought I knew, the one I built a life with, was gone. Or maybe she was never real to begin with. She scoffed when I didn't react the way she expected. "Oh, come on, Mark. Don't act all shocked. You had to know this was coming." I exhaled, shaking my head. "You know what's funny? I wasn't even looking. I trusted you so much that I never even thought to check." I held up my phone. "But you were so damn sloppy, so arrogant. You thought I'd never figure it out." She rolled her eyes. "Oh, please. You men always act like you're the victims, like you never do anything wrong. Maybe if you were more of a man, I wouldn't have had to find someone else." I clenched my jaw. "So this is my fault now." She shrugged. "I mean, yeah, you got lazy, predictable. A woman like me needs excitement. And Ryan, he gives me that." She smirked, actually smirked. "And let's be real. You're not going anywhere. You're too weak for that." I laughed. I actually laughed, not because it was funny, but because I couldn't believe how full of herself she was. How convinced she was that she had me trapped. I put my phone down and looked her dead in the eyes. "You think I'm weak?" She smiled, slow and smug. "I know you are." I nodded. "All right. Let's test that theory." She frowned. "What?" I walked past her, straight to the bedroom, grabbed a duffel bag, started throwing my clothes in. Emily followed, her confidence cracking. "Wait, what are you doing?" I didn't answer. I grabbed my passport, my laptop, a few essentials. "Mark," she snapped. "What the hell are you doing?" I zipped up the bag and turned to face her, leaving for the first time since this started. She actually looked nervous. "Wait, let's talk about this." I almost laughed again. Talk. You just told me I was pathetic. That you needed someone better. What's there to talk about? She swallowed, her eyes darting to the bag. Okay, maybe I said some things I didn't mean. I was just angry, but come on, Mark. You're really going to throw everything away over one mistake? Mistake. I stared at her. A mistake. I gestured to my phone. That didn't sound like a mistake to me. Her jaw clenched. You're seriously overreacting. No, Emily, I said, slinging the bag over my shoulder. I underreacted for too long. That ends today. She reached for me, but I sidestepped her, walked to the door. You're not actually leaving, she said, her voice higher now, almost panicked. I opened the door. She grabbed my arm. Mark, stop. We can fix this. I turned my head, meeting her eyes one last time. No, you can fix this with Ryan, since he's so much better than me. Her lips parted, like she was about to say something, but I didn't wait. I walked out, slammed the door behind me, and never looked back. I didn't stop walking until I reached my car, my own car, the one she used like it was some personal getaway vehicle for her little affairs. My hands were steady as I gripped the wheel, but inside, everything was a storm. I sat there for a moment, staring at the house we built together, the house where I had spent years believing in a lie, and now it was just another place on a map, another place I wouldn't be returning to. My phone buzzed. Emily. I let it ring, then another call, and another. I finally picked up, not because I wanted to hear her voice, but because I wanted to see what excuse she'd come up with next. The second I answered, she was already talking. Mark, listen, let's not do anything stupid, okay? I laughed, a dry, humorless laugh. Stupid like, I don't know, cheating on my spouse. She groaned. Come on, you're really going to be dramatic about this. I gripped the phone tighter. Dramatic, Emily. You've been sneaking around behind my back for who knows how long, and I'm the one being dramatic. She sighed, and I could hear the fake patience in her voice. Look, I know you're upset, but we can work through this. We've been together too long to just throw everything away. I shook my head, staring at my reflection in the rearview mirror. I barely recognized myself. You threw it away, Emily, not me. Silence. Then her voice turned sharp. So that's it. You're just walking out. Yeah, I said, simply. I am. Her voice wavered. You're not serious. I've never been more serious in my life. Another pause. And then, just like that, the real her came out. Fine, she snapped. Go. See if I care. You think you're so much better than me, newsflash, Mark. You're nothing without me. You're a boring, predictable loser, and you'll be begging to come back. I exhaled through my nose. You know, Emily, the saddest part of all this, I actually loved you. She didn't answer. I hung up, tossed the phone on the passenger seat. Then I put the car in drive and left that life behind. The city lights blurred as I drove, my mind racing faster than the car. I had nowhere to go, but anywhere was better than where I'd been. I turned onto an empty road, gripping the wheel so tight my fingers ached. The anger was still there, boiling under my skin, but now there was something else creeping in. Clarity. Emily wasn't calling anymore. Maybe she finally understood I was done. Or maybe she was already back in Ryan's arms, laughing about how I overreacted. The thought made my stomach turn. I pulled into an empty parking lot, killing the engine. For the first time in hours, everything was silent. Just me, the car, and the reality I was finally facing. I opened my phone and scrolled through our old messages. So many I love yous, so many plans for the future. It all felt like a joke now. I deleted them, every single one. A knock on my window made me jump. I turned, my heart hammering. It was Tom, the mechanic. I rolled the window down, confused. Tom, what the hell are you doing here? He shrugged. Saw you pull in. You looked like you needed a beer. I let out a breath, running a hand through my hair. Man, you have no idea. He handed me a cold one from a six-pack. leaning against the car. So, you going to tell me what's up, or do I gotta guess? I cracked open the can, took a long sip. You ever wake up and realize the person you've been sleeping next to for years is a total stranger? Tom whistled. Damn, that bad. I laughed bitterly. Worse. He didn't push, just took a sip of his own beer and nodded. Yeah, been there. I glanced at him. Yeah. Wife ran off with my best friend. Took half my money and my dog. I raised an eyebrow. Your dog. He sighed. Damn right. And you know what? I still miss that mutt more than I ever missed her. For the first time all night, I actually smiled. Just a little. That's rough, man. He shrugged. Life has a way of cleaning house for you. You just gotta know when to stop holding on to garbage. I let his words sink in, staring out at the empty street for the first time since I watched that video. I felt something other than anger. I felt free. I sat there for a while, letting the cold air and the weight of Tom's words settle in. The beer in my hand was half empty, condensation dripping down the side, but I barely noticed. Everything felt quieter. Not calm exactly, but like the storm had finally passed. Tom cracked open another can, taking a slow sip. So, what's next? I exhaled, shaking my head. Hell if I know. Guess I gotta figure out what life looks like without Emily in it, he smirked. Trust me, that's the best part. I raised an eyebrow. What? Starting over? Yeah, he said, stretching his legs out. No more stress, no more fake smiles. You get to do whatever the hell you want without someone sucking the life out of you. I scoffed. Easy for you to say, you're on the other side of it. He chuckled. Yeah, well, you will be too. He paused. Let me ask you something, though. If she hadn't been dumb enough to get caught, how long do you think you'd have kept living? That lie. I didn't answer right away. Because deep down, I knew the truth. I would have kept believing in her. In us. I would have kept lying to myself. Because I thought what we had was real. Because the truth was too damn painful to consider. Tom saw it in my face and nodded. Yeah, that's what I thought. He crushed his empty can, tossing it in a nearby trash bin. Sometimes life does you a favor by ripping the bandage off. I took another sip of beer, staring at the city skyline in the distance. Maybe he was right. My phone buzzed again. I already knew who it was before I even looked. Emily. I flipped it over, not bothering to read the message. Tom chuckled. That her? I nodded. You going to answer? I thought about it. Really thought. About it then, without hesitation, I opened my phone, found her number, and hit block. Tom let out a low whistle. Damn, didn't think you had it in you. I tossed my phone onto the dashboard. Neither did I. He clapped me on the back. Guess that means you're officially a free man. I exhaled. Free. Yeah, that sounded about right. I finished my beer, tossed the can, and finally started the car. I think I need a fresh start. Tom grinned. Now you're talking. And with that, I drove off, leaving the past exactly where it belonged. Behind me, the engine hummed as I drove, the city lights blurring into streaks of yellow and red. My phone stayed face down on the passenger seat, silent. No more calls, no more texts, no more Emily. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I could breathe. I didn't go home. That wasn't home anymore. I booked a hotel room, paid for a week up front, and tossed my bag onto the bed. The space was small, sterile, nothing like the house I had shared with her, but that was the point. I stood in front of the bathroom mirror, staring at my own reflection. I looked different, or maybe I was just seeing myself clearly for the first time in years. No more blind trust, no more playing the fool. I ran a hand over my face and exhaled. I wasn't broken. I was done. The next morning, I went back to the house, but not for long. I packed everything I needed, the rest. She could have it. Let her keep the furniture, the pictures, the stupid souvenirs we bought on trips that meant nothing now. I didn't care. I left my key on the counter and walked out the front door without looking back. It wasn't until I was halfway to the car that I saw her, Emily stood on the driveway, arms crossed, watching me with that same smug expression she always had when she thought she was in control. "So that's it," she said, tilting her head. "You're just going to run away." I opened the trunk and tossed my bag inside. "No, I'm moving on." She rolled her eyes. "Oh, please. You're not built for that. You need me, Mark. You always have." I smirked, shutting the trunk. "Funny. I was just thinking the same thing about you and Ryan." Her expression flickered, just for a second, but I caught it. She recovered fast, scoffing. "You're pathetic." I nodded. "Maybe, but at least I'm not a liar." She folded her arms tighter, watching me like she was waiting for me to crack, to come crawling back. But she had nothing left to hold. Over me, I got in the car, started the engine, and pulled away, leaving her standing there in the rearview mirror. That was the last time I ever saw her. I didn't move to another city. I didn't change my name or reinvent myself. I just kept going. It wasn't easy at first, some nights. I felt the weight of everything hit me all over again. The betrayal, the humiliation, the sheer stupidity of how blind I had been. But those nights got fewer. The pain faded. One day, I woke up and realized I hadn't thought about her at all. I got my own place, a small apartment. Nothing fancy, but it was mine. I made new routines, met new people. And you know what? Life went on. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need to make her pay. Walking away was the best thing I ever did. Because in the end, I won. Betrayals. Blade cuts deepest when wielded by those you trust most. Yet it sharpens the soul for battles yet to come. Mark Davis's discovery of Emily's infidelity through a dashcam's unforgiving lens reveals a truth as brutal as it is clarifying. Love can mask a lie so convincing it blinds you to your own worth. His calculated exit, confronting her lies, and walking away without looking back, teaches us that true strength is not in enduring deceit, but in reclaiming your life with resolute clarity. The profound lesson is that trust, when shattered, becomes a crucible. Never let it forge self-doubt. Mark's journey offers piercing advice. Heed the subtle cracks, her casual dismissals, guarded phone, for they signal a fracture waiting to break. Choose those who honor your devotion, not those who exploit it for fleeting thrills. Emily's smug unraveling, exposed by Mark's unwavering truth, proves that betrayers often weave their own downfall. But the real victory is internal, emerging not broken but redefined with a spirit steeled against manipulation. Don't let their lies anchor your soul. Let them propel your liberation. Time carves space for healing, but only deliberate choice builds a life untainted by their chaos. For anyone facing their own dashcam revelation, know this: you are not their narrative. Rise, wield your truth with precision, and forge a future where peace is your triumph, authenticity your shield, and freedom your eternal flame.